Final Fantasy VII Revelation is going to include Advent Children? I had an interesting thought about this. There is an interview by the director Naoki Hamaguchi, who we love. He's fantastic. And he said it's more accurate to consider Final Fantasy VII Advent Children to be part of the original FF7's canon rather than the remake series. This is because the remake series has not yet been completed. Since we have not revealed how it will conclude, we don't believe it would be appropriate to say so. But he also went on to say that the concept of Final Fantasy VII Remake series is to reimagine the entire world of Final Fantasy VII. So FF7 Revelation will have elements that tie into Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus, and Advent Children. Zack is going to have a bigger role this time around in terms of the overall game experience for the players. This actually doesn't just apply to Crisis Core, but also Dirge of Cerberus, Vincent Valentine's spin-off. This spin-off title have quite an impact on the remake series as a whole, since the concept of the remakes is to reimagine the entire world of FF7. So in that sense, Revelation is going to have elements that tie into these two games, and even Advent Children. Reading this really got me thinking, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like we used to talk about on my stream in 2020. The idea of the remake trilogy for me has always just been like a revision. Let's take everything from FF7, let's make it better. Let's include elements from the sort of extended materials like Advent Children, Dirge of Cerberus, etc. Hence why we have, Nero and Vice. But it got me thinking, I'm like, a lot of us have been kind of discussing the possibility of the remake trilogy connecting to Advent Children canonically, chronologically. But it got me thinking, I'm like, man, what if we've been looking at this the wrong way? And what if Advent Children kind of just happens, quote unquote, with some changes? But I guess my point being, like, what if Geostigma kind of happens as part of the plot in Revelation? What if Sephiroth activates Geostigma? Him surviving and kind of diffusing into the life stream, then coming back. That already happened in FF7 anyway, right? What happens in Advent Children, of course, it materializes as like Kadaj and Laz and Yatsu and Advent Children. But I'm like, yeah, what if they kind of just implement, like they're doing with Dirge of Cerberus, parts of the story of Advent Children into it? Are we gonna get dilly-dally shilly-shally scene in Revelation? Like, I don't know, I'm just saying. It'd be kind of cool if it all is actually included as a concise piece of media and a story. So can you imagine with Advent Children, it's like, what if Sephiroth kind of activates Geostigma? What if his "I will never be a memory" line happens in Revelation? In that final battle, we kind of have him, the battle in the mind of Cloud. As opposed to the idea, I had this idea earlier for, I was trying to kind of humor the sequel lovers, the idea of the people who love the idea of this being a sequel. I thought, I was like, if those people were to get their way and kind of OG fans were to also get their way, I think it'd make everybody happy is if there was a scene where Sephiroth, sort of appeared inside the wing as if it was after Advent Children and he came out. And he's like, all right, anyway, this is where I went after Advent Children. Let's finish this. And then that's the final battle. But what if instead of that, it just kind of happens like Advent Children? He says, "I'll never be a memory" at the end. And then Cloud finally defeats him for real and says, "Stay in my memories where you belong." Just an idea I had when I was thinking about it. Wouldn't that be so cool? So I'd love to hear what you think. Like, how can that happen? How could that happen? And are they going to take the approach they did with Dirge of Cerberus and Crisis Core? Right? Zack is not in the original, but he's in Crisis Core a lot. And we're definitely going to get, Zack's final stand against Shinra in Revelation, right? So, like, they're including Crisis Core. Why don't we include some Advent Children, too? So, anyways, by that logic, though, what does it show what happens beyond? Are we going to get, like, Denzel? Are we going to get Denzel Washington in Revelation? I don't know. Just an idea. I think, thinking about that, too, would have been cool to see when the Sector 7 plate fell in Remake. What if you saw Denzel and his family and everything? Anyways, along with Kate Sith out there doing his thing. Just a thought, but yeah, it gets you thinking, like, are we going to have Denzel Washington in there? Are we going to have other characters showing up? And are we going to see, like, Cloud and Tifa running the new Seventh Heaven in, like, an epilogue scene as if it's kind of like Advent Children, but, a totally different route, because then Sephiroth would be fully defeated at the end of Revelation. But then, I mean, why wouldn't Tifa rebuild the bar? So anyways, just some food for thought. I think it'd be kind of cool to be what this is. They've said it kind of operates outside of the compilation a few times now. This could finally be the answer. I think if it's, they really are revising the whole compilation into one story. just the best version of FF7 to include everything, as opposed to disjointed stories that kind of don't look the same aesthetically, feel the same as far as the writing. As I've said many times, I'm looking forward to a lot in Revelation. I think it's going to be the best thing ever. I can't wait to see, the live stream scene with Tifa, famous scene. I think everybody's looking forward to that. I hope we get Aerith, obviously, and Zack and everybody coming back. I think we are for sure. And I think Aerith is going to be playable on Zack's party. And it's going to be the coolest thing ever because you'll get to have all those guys. And what if Zack and Aerith have fits? Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. Anyways, I hope they do. And then Aerith can get her final limit break and her final weapons and stuff. Anyways, what has Remake already fixed for me? When you have like Dirge of Cerberus deep ground guys showing up, I mean, it's very clearly, very, very obviously that they just thought of this stuff after, right? These guys weren't around when they made FF7, so they made it the story, oh yeah, they were underground, really deep, so you didn't see them, and there was a meteor that actually sealed them underground in the rubble of Midgar, but they're coming out, they're coming back, 3 years after FF7. They weren't even around when they drafted Advent Children, right? So as opposed to that feeling slightly disjointed, let's have them in Remake. I thought that was one of the coolest things, man. Have it so Scarlet, they answer to Scarlet, Deep Ground. It's like, whoa, that felt so cool, and it felt so concise, and it felt so sort of narratively consistent. Getting Nero and Vice like to the point where he said they're going to be in it. Nero and Vice, he confirmed it recently, Hamaguchi and Revelation. What if Vincent defeats them in the third game, which I think is likely to happen? And I don't know. I think it could be pretty cool. So anyway, just a thought I had. I'm curious if you agree. Just kind of musing some fun conversations here. But I love that Hamaguchi. I mean, he's the GOAT. He's just coming out here doing interviews like day in, day out. He's talking about Advent Children. He's talking about Zack. He's talking about everything. Just every day there's new interviews. It's been amazing. So if you didn't see my initial reaction to Revelation, both the reveal trailer and my breakdown and predictions and everything, check that out on the channel. Love to hear your thoughts, but I wanted to share this quick thought with you guys, and maybe it'll spur on some other cool ideas for you guys. But anyways, I'm just making up stuff at this point, but I thought it'd be cool to share with you guys, a quick off the cuff thought. I have to travel tomorrow, so I wanted to get this out quick. You guys are the best. Thanks for listening to my ramblings here. As always, I appreciate you so much for conversing with me over these fun topics. I recently performed at Carnegie Hall, performing for Distant Worlds Final Fantasy. If you missed it, it was narrating the Final Fantasy VI opera for Nobuo's special concert. Dream come true. So if you didn't see that, check out my Instagram. You can see some highlights and meeting Nobuo and everything. It was a dream come true. Anyways, you guys are the best. Thanks for being here. Make sure to sub if you want to have more conversations. Get ready for more Revelation hype. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Thanks for being here. See ya.